Hello, 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 friends. Nicholas here with DIVO TED Talks, Devoted Talks, where we take ancient wisdom and practices through a modern lens and experience to help you and those you love in suffering in your personal and greater worlds. So, I am feeling good this morning. I've been shedding a lot of stuff. There's just soup of emotions that I've had to hop into, figure my way through, and then today's a good day and I'm up and out of it in a way that is feeling very productive, but it's hard because I have thoughts about what it means that I was in the emotions rather than above them or around them or, independent of them. And that is faulty logic and faulty thinking and faulty emoting because if it weren't for those emotions, I cannot guarantee that I would be in the state that I am today to appreciate the sunrise, to appreciate the love and the light that is all around the good times with my clients. In one regard, I feel assuredly so that I should do better and could do better, but that doesn't mean that I need to, have to, or would have had I not had life happen the way it was, right? It's like we, in some ways, think that we were the instigator of the emotions or the inability to hold them at bay or the experience of them flooding us, when in reality, we can't know the difference. Like it would be a different reality. And we would wonder from that point, what else could have been? It's not like we would have magically been more self-assured just because it happened a different way. Although there are certain things framework wise that we have insecurities around because of the way we were raised, things that were made important to us for survival when we were younger, or any other number of ways of describing it. And so, yeah, because things happen that way, we did feel a certain way. But that doesn't mean that had we done a little bit more work or had we avoided one more thing that we wouldn't get into that spot, right? It's never been and never has been and never will be that you avoid these things. It's that they happen and they don't carry as much weight, gravitas, or temporal dependency for resolution, right? It's kind of like I was talking about in the last episode about hot yoga and the way we expose ourselves to all of these challenges and hard things that over time, eventually it becomes easy in that adaptation to it to walk through it without being disturbed. I've been using that word a lot lately, right? We have our inner light of awareness. Now, if you think about that inner light of awareness, it burns pure and it's nice and stable and upright if all of the forces around it, all of the environment around it is still. But if there's wind currents or there is a different way of the oxygen getting to the flame, like it being in a container where the air has to kind of go in and exchange, it creates this flickering and movement of the flame rather than this steady, even kill thing. And so, is it any less of flame? No. But we too, through the different forces in life, are being disturbed. Disturbed can have the connotation of, in English at least, of, oh, that's gross. Oh, I've been disturbed by that. It's, rotten to the bone and I feel it. But it can also just mean that you're not steady anymore because it disturbed your peace. It disturbed the way that things had been previously. And sometimes disruption and disturbance is what fosters change, what fosters reaffirmation of what is needed or what is desired, because there is a contrast in a moment to help us see what was or was not happening, right? It's like rumble strips. Oh, I didn't realize I was drifting until I hit the rumble strip. Right? It's not just for people who fall asleep. Sometimes people are just not paying attention. And they don't realize that they're not paying attention because they're not attentive until the thing draws their attention. And then the rumble strip lets us know, and then we move back in. Maybe not without people behind you cussing you out, yelling at you, shaking their fists. But that's not what you are there for, right? You're there to have your attention redirected by the disturbance that was there for that express purpose. Maybe the disturbances in our lives are rumble strips in their own right to help you be disturbed so that you recognize what you are or are not doing in the moment. And then you can adjust, recalibrate, and reaffirm in that moment towards what you really want or what you really need. I feel like that's a beautiful way of expressing it and relatable, right? Because I feel like if you drive, there's been at some point, somewhere, somehow that you have rumble stripped. So, my hope for you, my friends, is that you recognize that you are not what happens to you. You are who you know yourself to be. And if you only know yourself by the things that happen to you, you're going to have a very myopic understanding of who you really are. So, try to expand that view, try to allow it to come to you in its fullness, which may only allow certain aspects of it to be seen at one time, right? I was talking to a client this morning and we were talking about, you know, oh, I'm 65 and I should know all this by now, or I should know this. And oh, I don't have as much time to learn it. And it's like, well, no, but you did do other things that you could do. It's like putting together a puzzle. If you have the ability to see that corner of the puzzle, it still has to get done at some point anyway. So if you can easily do this and quickly, why not do that and get it done until you can't do anymore? And then you can move on to the other one or the other parts that may be a little bit more obtuse or, shrouded. And so I don't think there was ever any time lost. It's just you worked on the part that was easy enough for you to work on in the moment, and that the whole will join together at some point, and it will be a beautiful thing when it does. So, my friends, be well, be free, and don't let the disturbances get you down.